LSU knocks off South Carolina 20-10. My name is Bryce Koon alongside Matthew Brune, the Bengal Tiger. Immediate, instant reaction, post-game recap. Brune, story of tonight, there's a lot of them, but I want to start with this. As we've got the helicopter ahead, I mean, all the noise in the world, right here, right now, Tiger Stadium. Now let's start it right here. For Gary Nussmeier, I'm writing about this as well at night. It's no longer, in my opinion, what we saw tonight, a matter of health. It's in between the ears. It's decisiveness. I guess take this where you want to go with it. What did you see out of Nussmeier that either made you feel like you can believe again, or you're still cautiously optimistic?
Yeah, I think there were flashes. At the same time, I think everybody who watches this and is upset with him is completely within their rights, because those two interceptions were completely on him, and you can't have them. Both of them were in South Carolina territory. Both of them, prevented LSU from putting this game away. And, I can critique play calling. I can say they just throw the damn ball up to Luedecke Green when you're inside the 10. Instead, they try throwing a slant to him and it's picked off. I can critique all that, but ultimately Gary Nussmeier threw the interceptions. But like you said, I think he cleared a hurdle physically that at least showed us flashes of what we needed to see from him. We saw the Chris Hilton vertical throw. We saw a crazy throw to the sideline to, what was it, Caden Durham?
Caden Durham just sitting there, yeah.
I mean, we saw flashes of what 2024 Gary Nussmeier was, and that's what we needed to see. So now, it's no longer like, oh, is he healthy? Can he make the throws? It's now, can he avoid making the game-changing mistakes? Yeah. And that's really what it was last year to a degree, but this year, it's kind of more the same now.
And for me, it's weird. I guess I feel better about where things are with this offense and Gary Nussmeier, because it's no longer a physical limitation. And to be honest with you, I've said this since I've gotten here. Maybe this pushes back against your all aboard the Nuss Bus banner. I think the kid's a gunslinger. And I think what tonight you saw out of him was you're going to have to live with the good and live with the bad more often than not. And I think the data points show he's going to be a little bit better than just good most of the time. Now, if he clears his physical hurdle, he continues to put the ball in some tight windows. You mentioned the throws. I thought the throw right here behind us that we thought might be PI in the corner of the end zone. I think it was Nick Anderson.
Yeah.
That was the back shoulder, putting in the corner where only your receiver can go get it. DB makes a nice play. All those things considered, you saw all of that. I mean, if Chris Hilton catches the football, if Luedecke Green makes the catch right before halftime right here, I mean, you're talking about a guy that might have eclipsed 300 yards. I don't have the stats in front of me. Yeah. I don't remember exactly what they were, but just in terms of Nussmeier, we can put a bow, I feel like, on the physical health. Now, is he battling an ankle injury? Why did you run him down here on the goal line? The play calling is a whole different thing. Yeah. But to be honest with you, that's something we knew coming in. Like we knew this was a problem last year. You have Luedecke Green. I'm interested to see how much they fall in love with 14 in the red zone to where it becomes way too predictable. Even then, I think you can still.
I said this after the Clemson game. I said the only way you're going to stop them is if you do what they did in Megatron and you put two guys in front of them. Yeah. Unless they have 6'5" corners out there that I don't know about. I mean,
you have to have some weird hybrid safety.
It's incredible, and I won't belabor the point, but like after he throws the interception, the next drive they come down and he just throws from like the 30, throws it up to him, and they get down to the 1 yard line in the fourth quarter, and you're like,
it's almost too easy.
Spam it until they stop it.
I mean, sometimes it doesn't have to be that complicated. I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
What is complicated is the right tackle position. Weston Davis he has not been good this year. And for a lot of people saying, hey, he's going up against Dylan Stewart, I hear you. There's not probably a lot of defensive right tackles that would look good against that type of player. The issue is the data points and the sample size is way too large to suggest that Weston Davis should be starting a right tackle at this point. We have seen Karius Kern, so I think that's something too. You can't hold Karius Kern behind the curtain anymore. And I want to be careful with my words here, because I'm not saying that Weston Davis doesn't compete, but Karius Kern competes. So I'm not going to say Weston Davis doesn't. I'm going to say Karius Kern does. He's strong. Even when he gets beat, I feel like he's way more athletic, where he can do some things. I think long-term, he is a guard. It cannot be worse than it has been for 6 games.
First half was one of the worst first halves of football I've ever seen offensive linemen. And that says something, because last year DJ Chester was one of the worst rated centers in all of SBS, and we've seen a lot of that offensive line play at times from LSU in the past 4 years, but this was just egregiously bad. It became like every play, I'm just watching Weston Davis.
Oh, we watched,
Because ultimately, his performance and his play impacted everything they could and could not do on offense.
Even in the run game.
Like you said, going against Dylan Stewart is one thing, completely understand it. But they tried chipping, like they threw some guys at him to help him, and it didn't even matter. So yeah, I don't have too much else to say. Y'all know where I stand with Weston Davis in that right tackle position. I've been saying this since week 1, week 2. I might have even said it before the season. I just am, I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me, and I think it is borderline malpractice. I mean, at this point, it is malpractice to continue to trot him out there and try to do it. I'm interested to see what his PFF grade is, just because, I mean, I know what our eyes tell us, but like, if I'm grading him, I think that's like a 20.
I mean, you wanted his
on the season. On the season, he's at a 40. So I don't know.
This was by far the worst performance he's had all year.
And in general, like, if you want to transition a little bit to the run game,
yeah, let's
like,
do that.
They had explosive runs to this game. That was the difference. Like, they were actually ran the ball. If you look at the total yards, I think it was around, 160, 170, somewhere around there. Again, I don't know the stats, but they were able to pop some runs, which they didn't do previously. The Juwan Johnson run, Kane Durham had a couple, and that's ultimately what we needed. We said before, like, they're not going to be consistent running the ball. They're not going to consistently get 5-6 yard chunks. They're not going to do that. But if they can just pop the occasional big run with Caden Durham, Juwan, Harlem, just hit the occasional big play, that's enough. And that was enough tonight, so I do want to give them credit for that.
Well, Cohen Eccles looked decent at left guard tonight. Especially in the run game, I think that's something we have to consider. Is it his position? With Paul Mabinga being out tonight, as they go to Vanderbilt next weekend, who has the upper hand there? I think that's an intriguing battle. Thought Braylon Moore looked good, and I felt like he would look better because he's closer to 100% healthy after that ankle injury that he had. Flipping over to defensive side of the football, look, man, they're good. They're really good. Tackling wasn't great tonight, but how much do you credit that just to LaNorris Sellers' ability to improvise, his ability to essentially play backyard football? And I mean, look, you got to be able to tackle, but he's not the easiest guy to bring in.
No, I mean, there's a reason I said Cam Newton's name multiple times when doing the podcast this week, because he's not that, but like in terms of escapability, he is just really, really hard to bring down and really, really impressive to watch. So yes, on one hand, I would love to see whether it's Perkins, defensive ends, bring him down or at least wrap up and not let him escape. But I think what they did so well in coverage made him hold on to the ball, made him make some of those improvisation plays, and that's what happens sometimes. So ultimately, I can't be mad. I think the defensive backs did a hell of a job once again. Delane, Woodland, Pickett, all of them. Halsey made some plays.
Pickett had a sack late in the game too.
Yes, and so the DBs were so good. I give them credit first and foremost, and then everyone else kind of did their job around him. And Blake Baker, we knew coming into this game, South Carolina didn't have the weapons to really, really hurt them outside of Sellers, and that's what it looked like.
Yeah. Well, they did have a fourth-string running back that never got a touch the rest of the game, which is intriguing. Shane Beamer's right down here. We will not ask him that question.
Shane.
We'll get you on the pod, Shane. We're not joking. He is right there. But I guess in all seriousness, they don't know that.
I don't want to sound like I'm yelling at Shane Beamer. He's 50 yards away.
Weird, and I'm going to have to go back and watch it. Just the illegal procedure call on the punt really changed a lot of things. That's the Beamer ball we talked about coming in. The big thing, you eliminated those type of weird and wacky plays that where South Carolina has been able to beat opponents, they've been able to capitalize. But the fumble on the goal line, they take advantage. It's one thing we talked about. They're going to take advantage when they do get turnovers. I mean, hats off to them. They made that play. Outside of that, you did a good job controlling it.
I would argue on a down-by-down basis, both teams had more offensive success than the scoreboard shows.
Yeah.
Obviously, with LSU fumbling on the one, obviously getting stopped at the one, obviously interception at the 10, that's 3 right there. And then South Carolina, while they weren't like consistently in the red zone, I think I told you, it felt like they were consistently in LSU territory, and then they would have like
about right here.
The 30-35, it'd be like false start. They had the back-to-back false starts, then a grounding, and then they have all these penalties stack up. And again, credit to Tiger Stadium. LSU doesn't lose to Tiger Stadium at night for a reason, and I thought they played a big role. But like South Carolina in the game of 320 yards roughly. I mean, they moved the ball somewhat. It wasn't like the Florida game. It's not like we were watching Louisiana Tech out here. Like South Carolina did some things, but again, when the field shrinks, LSU I think does a really, really good job and holds teams down. So give them credit there.
They're flashing on the scoreboards around us. The next home game is October 25th against Texas A&M. That is going to be a dandy. That is going to be one that you want to make sure the kids have a babysitter. You and the wife come to the football game. Make sure you use code GameTimeTigers. $20 off. But before we get there, sleepy 11 a.m. kickoff next week in Nashville. We're going to talk more about it this next week, but I want to get your early indications. Vanderbilt coming off a bye week after a tough loss to Alabama. They're going to be well rested. They're going to want to play ball control while taking some shots.
Yeah.
I'll say this, and I'll hand it off to you. I do think for this LSU team, you need to go look at that Alabama game, what they did defensively. They got after Pavia. They overwhelmed that Vanderbilt offense. I think that's the recipe, and it might be another ugly win. But if you leave a road SEC win, which we've never said this before, if you leave Nashville with a ugly SEC win, it's not because you had a good time at SEC Media Days. It's because you had a good time there at Nashville to Vanderbilt Stadium, whatever it's called. Early indications. What do you feel
it would be the biggest win of the season by a large margin. I mean, obviously Clemson was until we figured out that
within
they
that
suck.
scope, yeah.
But now at this point in the year, like if you get that Vanderbilt win, first of all, it's a ranked road win. But secondly, it does set you up to where you come back home against A&M, and this place will be
that's Tiger Stadium
like
in full
that's
effect.
yeah that's Death Valley at its full effect, which you maybe get once a year, and you're gonna get that against A&M. And honestly, even if they lose the game, not to say that I'm going to predict not saying that. Even if they do, the urgency of the A&M game will be even more heightened because you can't lose a third game because of the playoffs. Like that A&M game is going to be absolutely huge. I hope LSU. The thing is, again, just to go big picture, Brian Kelly, and understandably, is like it feels like he's saying we're not that far off, right? It's like if we just fix some things on the offense, we know what we got to fix, we know what we got to do. We can pair that with the defense, and we're going to be right where we want to be. I don't believe that they're going to take a substantial step forward offensively, but if they beat Vanderbilt, you come back home to A&M. Yeah, you obviously do some things well, do some things right. You come back home here, and if Nussmeier's at least healthy, he gives you a gunslinger, a puncher's chance. Like you have some weapons. Like you're feeling good. I mean, that Vanderbilt win is so important. That game is so important to get over the hump. And you know, you lose on the road at Ole Miss, and I've said it before, winning away from Tiger Stadium under Brian Kelly has not been easy, and it's never going to be easy in the SEC. But that would show you're clearing a hurdle, and that's what we need to see them do this year.
2 years ago, if I'd have told you going to beat Vandy would mean so much for a season, I don't know if we would have believed it. But hey, that's what they got to do next week. We'll have all the coverage this upcoming week in terms of what's going on. But for right now, a 20-10 win. LSU knocks off South Carolina, and you know, I feel like they found some things to work. Got to keep building off of that. And look, I'll leave you with this: if there's something we really need to take to heart here, and I guess I've been maybe critical, doing some self-eval like they did during the bye week. I did some. I think we need to have a real talk with ourselves about what's realistic in this new era of college football. I think people want to say, okay, it's 10-2, or you're awful, and the definitions of good, bad, average. It's been totally turned on its head. Right now in the SEC, and obviously by the time you're watching or listening to this, you've probably seen some of the games across the SEC. There's not a de facto elite team. Right now, I'd probably say Alabama is probably the best team in the SEC. Yeah. But you can make a case, hey, Missouri might be right there with them. Georgia goes to Auburn and gets a win that's not an easy place to play. Yeah. Texas found something. A&M looks good. Ole Miss is good. You have opportunities, and you haven't got blown off the field yet by some of those teams. Ole Miss a couple weeks ago. That being said, maybe there needs to be some introspection here in terms of what we're realistically thinking this team should do. To your point, and I'll let you end it. Even if you lose next week, I still think you got everything in front of you. It's not going to be easy, but you've probably got room for one more.
College football has opened up in a way that I've just never expected it to. Indiana beating Oregon at Oregon.
They won that? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Pretty significant.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Like that's what we're talking about here. Like the talent distribution is just it's wild. I mean, Tennessee goes down the wild. I could go down the list of the entire week of. I mean, Penn State loses again. This is so open. I think it's almost a lock at this point that a 9-3 team will get into the playoff.
Oh yeah.
Like it feels like a lock, if not multiple 9-3 teams getting in the playoff. Because it's just the Big Ten's top heavy. The ACC is maybe one heavy. I don't even know.
Say what you said earlier.
Yeah. So it's like, again, you have enough to play in front of you because nobody's running away with the national title picture. Nobody's running away with the 12. It's not like there's 12 teams. Yeah, you're like, those are the 12 best teams in the country.
And then there's a large gap.
I couldn't, if you asked me to fill out AP Valley right now, I'm going down there like after 4 and like
I'm 3.
Ole Miss just played a tight game as a 33-point favorite against Washington State. I don't know what to say. So again, yes, everything he has in front of him, his team has the makeup, has the talent to reach its goal. But at the end of the day, you got to put it together. I think he's talking hypothetically.
We can't keep talking because hashtag not an ad. John Deere is making their way past us. We appreciate you tuning in. Hey, also shout out.
Shane.
Also, shout out everyone that came and hung out with us at the tailgate today. Awesome time. Shout out Cajun Cousins. They do a fantastic job. We enjoyed it. Hey, and maybe we'll be trying to work on something as we get ready for a game against A&M. We'll let you know. Best way to stay in tune, though, is head over to the Bengal Tiger. Get that subscription, $1 for your first week, and you get the athletic annual there as well. He is Matthew Brune. He's got basketball stuff next week. My name's Bryce Koon. I got baseball stuff next week. And Shay Dixon is there to
Have a good time.
Have a good time, man. We'll catch you next time here on the Bengal Tiger Instant Reaction Podcast.